Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Coach's Corner segment on the Bridging Impact podcast. I'm your host, Coach Furtado, where I discuss some of what I am learning from the week, and I want to share with y'all the coaches, the leaders of the youth of our future. So let's dive right in to the episode. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that was first coined by Theodore Roosevelt. And I'm actually, for those of you that have been following me for quite some time, I'm a big Sean McVay fan. And Sean McVay talks about that a lot. And I had the first-hand privilege of, I think it was week 4 when I got to go see them play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was when Deshaun Jackson was on the team. Matthew Stafford drops back and boom, launches a crazy pass caught by Deshaun Jackson running all the way in for a touchdown, and I kid you not, Sean McVay runs all the way down the sideline. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can see me just trotting it out, and he just grabs him on the helmet. He's like, good job, just like super fired up, and it didn't end up working out for Deshaun Jackson on the Rams, but that is showing that you care. So let's dive in right there. What does that look like? I've been coaching in youth sports, youth basketball specifically, for 4 years now, and working in youth boys and girls clubs, and a couple other organizations as well, kid sports. But with that being said, I think I'm specifically talking youth sports. I'm not in professional, I'm not in college sports, so I can't talk about what being successful at that level is like because I haven't been at that level. But I will talk about is the number one thing that I think it's not X's and O's. X's and O's doesn't matter in youth basketball. That's not success. If you win in youth basketball, that's good. That's great. Everyone remembers a memorable season. But did you care? And I think that's the difference between a average or below average coach and an outstanding youth basketball coach, youth soccer coach, youth whatever coach. They care. They got a heart, and they get to know their athletes. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about what does that look like? What does caring look like? And I talk about an extreme example of Sean McVay running down the sideline, right? Like that might not be everyone's personality. Sean McVay, I feel like I have a similar personality to Sean McVay. Like I'm a hype person. Like I love to get people, riled up and excited, and that's me. Right, but that's not everyone, and that's okay. You don't have to run down the sideline to show that you care to your players. But what have I noticed about myself and other people that I know care? What have they shown me? And I think number one, like when people walk into their room, to the gym, to the field, they are greeted. Great coaches greet all athletes, all players. Because if you walk into a practice, right, like you are 8-year-old playing basketball and it's your 3rd or 4th practice, you want to be seen saying, hey, insert name, hey, Sam, hey, hey, Jenny, whoever it is, right? You have to acknowledge them, If you're I'm a person, like, I love high fives and knucks. Like, I think sometimes the kids think it's a little weird, but, like, at the end of the day, like, I'm high-fiving every single person that comes into the gym. And now they're coming in and they expect that high five. But that may not be for you. But it is a requirement to acknowledge everyone's humanity. Even if they come into a Zoom or a Google Meets room, you have to say, hi, Justin. Hi, Jim. Hi, Carrie, right? You have to acknowledge people. Like, that's like, hey, I see you, right? Some people, like I'm going to talk about, I have one coworker. He's great. He's a wonderful teacher. On the court, he's actually a masterful leader and like always talking and communicating, and off the court, that's just not his style. And that's great. And I've had the privilege of working with him for the past year. And I know that I don't want to like go and ask him about, his family, blah, 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 because he doesn't want to share about that. Like I have to be able to read between the lines. So with that being said, I do know that when I, bring up the latest NBA drama, the latest NBA tea, the game, right? He'll just boom, flow, right? You have to know. Caring is knowing what each person on your team, whether they're athletes, your coworkers, at work or in the gym, care. You have to know what they care about, right? Because then you can start finding that common ground. Like I remember when I was at the Boys and Girls Club, there was our front desk person. She was wonderful. She really was into hockey, and it helps because I'm into sports, so I'm able, but every day I would go ask her. She loved the Las Vegas. I'm drawing a blank. It's like Golden Knights, maybe. She loved the Golden Knights. Let's say that's her name. I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. And I just asked them, how was it? Have her, and one time she's like, thanks for always, I forget what she said, just talking to me about hockey, what I mean? Like, it just shows that you care. Like, it shows that you care when you show interest in people. And don't be fake, man. Don't be fake. Like, it's got to be genuine. People can read right through it. I'll tell you right here, people can read right through it if you're being fake and if you, really don't actually care, So that's number one is greeting people at the door. Number two is asking questions and getting curious. I think number three, actually, when you show up, you care. And this is one I didn't write in the newsletter today because I like to keep that short and sweet. But I actually think this is one I'm still working on showing I care, is by setting high standards and holding them accountable to it. And creating those standards with them too, because I think sometimes, I've seen coaches create their own standards for people, right? But if I don't know Sally's goals for youth basketball, youth soccer, whatever, and I have these goals for her to, go play collegiately, blah blah blah, and she just wants to play and have fun, right? There's a disconnect there. But with that being said, if we can co-create high standards, I'm not talking about low standards, none of that. That's not caring about people. Caring about people is setting high standards and reaching them and being like, hey, you know what, Jenny, you are not performing at your best today. What's going on? Start asking some of those questions. Hey, coach, I didn't drink enough water. I skipped lunch today. I had a fight with my friend today at school. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, right, is you getting to know, okay, well, I see that you're not at your whatever quote unquote best, and again, our best looks different every day, but I need you to give me your best that you have today, because these are the standards that we set. And that's something I am going to work on implementing more. I think sometimes I'm a little bit more of the positive coach in terms of let's come in and have some fun, and sometimes I think as a coach, I let some discipline slide. So I'm really trying to it's love and care is holding them accountable. It's actually not loving and caring to have them have low standards and not expect much from them. That's not caring about them, because you want people to evolve. Now don't be ridiculous, right? Don't be, I coach, obviously 6-7-year-olds. I'm not going to expect them to know some high level high school offense. That's ridiculous. But I am going to expect them to dribble hard and take a nice jump shot and a jump stop and a shot, right? That is a requirement. So those are a couple examples. We'll go through those three. I actually gave you four but you may not be a high five next person. I really recommend it. Being a high five next person, the Golden State Warriors are a notorious team for high fiving and giving each other the love, and it's the simple things. I know I'm cheesy as hell, but these things work. They really do. And especially for youth sports and creating memorable experiences, which is what youth sports is about. It's about teaching life lessons and creating memorable experiences and helping out friends, helping kids create friends. That's what it's about. So let's run back through it again. Number one, we have to greet people at the door, acknowledge them with their name. Number two, I would love it if there was a high five and a knuck in there. If not, that's okay. Number three, asking questions about their day, about their, what kind of food they like, random things. Just get to know them, have that genuine curiosity. And number four, hold them accountable to a high standard. That is caring, that is giving the love, that's impacting the next generation. Appreciate y'all for listening to this episode of Caring. I will be in your eyes and ears next week. I actually will have the opportunity to go home to Humboldt County, so you'll see a little bit different background, and I'll be moving shortly. So with that being said, this dull background, I'm going to create something cool. I'm going to create something really cool. So again, appreciate y'all. Much love. Make sure you like, share. If you got something from this, you think someone else would get something from this, that's coaching, these little nuggets, that's what I'm trying to share. I'm trying to pass wisdom from one generation to the next. And really, it doesn't even have to. We can be in the same generation that we're passing to. It don't really matter. Let's just pass that wisdom along. All right, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Peace.